Hello, 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 everybody. How's everybody doing today? My name's Danielle, and I'll be your guide today as we lift the veil of secrecy on some of Hollywood's hottest film locations. I just want to ask that everyone continue moving all the way to the left side of the tram, filling in, or excuse me, the right side of the tram, filling in all available seats, so we get as many people out of the line as possible. Walk with arms and legs as the tram gates are closing, and if you have any small children with you today, let's say their feet don't touch the ground, now would be the perfect time to move them towards the center of the tram. I also want to make sure everybody has a pair of 3D glasses with them today. If you don't have a pair of 3D glasses, put your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And keep those hands up high in the sky. That way we know you need 3D glasses. I am not seeing any hands, so I'm guessing we have our 3D glasses. We do not need to put them on just yet because these screens are not in 3D. And the world is in 3D, so I'll let you know when you need them on, but you don't need them on just yet. And we are going to get going, so let's say bye to everybody on your left-hand side. Bye! They're going to be in the next tour, but our tour starts right now. And I'm not driving right now. Here's my hands. I'm facing backwards. So we have the wonderful Joseph behind the wheel. With the count of three, let's say hi, Joseph. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi, Joseph. Joseph says hello. And let's also say hello to my co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Danielle.
And the greatest driver.
Joseph.
They're the best. I love that. Even though
Danielle
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Thanks, Jimmy. We do have a couple safety rules that we need to go over. So first, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red emergency cord that runs along the center of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you can't wait to use the restroom, just pull the cord and remain seated. Please don't smoke of any kind during the tour. And be aware, because our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects, so you want to have those cameras out for some great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and for the safety of others, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on board the tram today. All right, the fun can officially begin. We have left the theme park behind and we are entering the world-famous Universal Studios backlot. Now, you are here on an incredibly special day because on March 15th, 107 years ago today, Universal Studios opened, our backlot opened. And our backlot was here before the theme park or anything. We had studio tours, and then the studio tour and our backlot were so awesome. We built an entire theme park around it. But 107 years ago on this very date, Universal opened. And our founder is Carl Laemmle. Carl Laemmle helmed that opening, and he wanted to create the strangest city in the world when he created Universal. And we really are our very own city. You can see on your right-hand side, you have our very own fire station, Fire Station 51. That's a real working fire station with real fire trucks, firefighters, real everything. We also have our very own zip code. We have our very own dry cleaners, our very own post office. So what makes our city any different than your city? Well, our city is completely dedicated to making movies. And on your right and left-hand side, you'll see a timeline of just a handful of the tons and tons and tons of movies that we've made here at Universal. Some might be your favorite comedies. Some might be your favorite Academy Award-winning film. An Academy Award is the highest honor in filmmaking. Now, the Universal film Belfast, starring Jamie Jordan, was nominated for 7 Academy Awards this year. The Academy Awards are at the end of the month. 7 is one of the highest amount of numbers that an Academy Award has been nominated this year. 10 is the most. That's the movie Power of the Dog, starring Kristen Dunst and Benedict Cumberbatch on Netflix. But 7's not that far behind, so we can't wait to see what awards Belfast will take home. Now, on your left-hand side, we have our very first soundstage, Soundstage 12, and the doors open to Soundstage 12 if you want to take a peek inside. Soundstage 12 is our largest soundstage, so how big is it? Well, you can put a mansion inside there. Yes, Scarface's mansion was filmed right there inside of Soundstage 12. So was The Voice. The Voice now films inside of Soundstages 24 and 25, but they used to film right there inside of Soundstage 12. Also, Kelly Clarkson, who you might know as a coach in The Voice, films our hit talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show, inside of Soundstage 1 on the backlot. Now, why do we use soundstages? Well, the main reason that we use sound stages is for control. We can control just about anything in our sound stages. sound, lighting, temperature, whatever it looks like, and who gets in and who gets out. Now, I think the show Superstore is a great example as to why we use sound stages. Superstore took place in a big box retail store called Cloud 9, but it filmed right there on your left-hand side in sound stages 16 and 17. The doors are open to those sound stages as well if you want to look inside. Now, Superstore took place in a big box retail store and starred America Ferrera, who you might know from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. So why didn't we film in a big box retail store? Well, we would have had to close down the store every time we want to film, take all their stuff down, put all our stuff up, and then at the end of the night, take all our stuff down, put all their stuff back up, and we wouldn't have had any of those control elements that I mentioned. So we just recreated inside of our sound stages. Now, Superstore also used sound stages 21 on your left-hand side, and now inside of sound stage 21, Saved by the Bell films. Yes, the reboot of Saved by the Bell, which you can check out on Peacock, NBC Universal Streaming Network. Also inside of Soundstage 21, Steven Spielberg tested the mechanical shark for Jaws. And inside of Soundstage 21, it worked beautifully, or should I say swimmingly. But that was not the case when production started rolling, but we'll talk more about that later on the tour. Soundstage 21 is also where Ron Howard recreated NASA's Mission Control Room for Apollo 13.
Realism was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo mission still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control, since there was no room for the elaborate camera frames and tracks we needed for the shots. We had to build our own mission control. Everything had to be exact, even down to the tiniest detail.
Now, after the Lemley family, Lou Wasserman took over the studio where he really embraced TV. And because he embraced TV, we produced some of the greatest TV shows of all time here, like Leave It to Beaver and Who's the Boss. Currently on your right-hand side, it's on stage 44, Mr. Mayor films. Also, Kenan, starring Kenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live, films on our backlot. So does Bel-Air, which is a dramatic reimagining of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Also, the show Hacks films here on our backlot. Now, on your left-hand side, we have our our production bungalows. Now, these bungalows used to be dressing rooms to some of Hollywood's biggest names, like Rock Hudson and Doris Day, but they're now offices to some of Hollywood's biggest names, like The Rock. Yes, The Rock has offices in these production bungalows. So does Illumination Entertainment. Now, Illumination Entertainment brought you Despicable Me and Minions movies. Also, they brought you The Grinch, starring Benedict Cumberbatch as the voice of the Grinch. Elizabeth Banks also has offices in these bungalows, and you might know her from Scrubs or Pitch Perfect or The Hunger Games. Well, her production company, Brownstone Productions, actually produced Pitch Perfect 2. She directed Pitch Perfect 2, and she was in Pitch Perfect 2. So talk about a really cool triple threat. Robert Zemeckis also has offices in these bungalows, and you might know him as the director of Back to the Future. On your left-hand side of Bungalow 5195, you'll see a familiar silhouette. That is the silhouette of Alfred Hitchcock. That used to be his bungalow, but it now belongs to the De Laurentiis Company, and they are responsible for bringing the legend of Hannibal Lecter to the big and small screen. So something spooky must run in the water there. Now on your left-hand side, we have our two newest sound stages 22 and 23. But I like to call those the Will and Grace sound stages. Will and Grace starred Megan Mullally, Deborah Messing, Sean Hayes, and Eric McCormick. And I call those the Will and Grace sound stages because the reboot episodes of Will and Grace all filmed inside those sound stages. World of Dance and America's Got Talent also utilize those sound stages, but the first production to use those sound stages was NBC's Hairspray Live, starring Ariana Grande as Penny Pingleton. Now, the cast and crew of Hairspray Live would film all their interior scenes in here, and then during the commercial breaks, they would run to the backlot to film their exterior scenes, where shows like American Ninja Warrior filmed their Los Angeles qualifying rounds, and shows like Rutherford Falls filmed right there on our Universal Studios Metro sets. Will and Grace also filmed an episode on our Metro sets in this very tram. Take a look.
Anastasia Beaverhouse. Just an ordinary tourist from the Midwest.
Oh, me too. What part?
Mission. Soda, Wisconsin. Home of the fighting Caucasians.
We've all had our share of humdingers. Me included. One time I took a drink that said Lisa on it from a coffee place. I know my name's not Lisa.
You are a bad girl. Stop the tram!
Now, the reason why productions like using our backlot is because you can do anything from start to finish of a production right here on the Universal backlot. We are the world's largest working movie studio, and we really utilize every square inch of our backlot. Now, there are 3 stages to a production: pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production would be writing the script, figuring out who's going to be in it, when they're going to film, where they're going to film, how many days they need to film, all of that scheduling stuff. Then the next stage is production, which is actually filming the movie, commercial, television show, whatever it is. And then the third stage is post-production, which is editing, doing any dubbing, which is if there's some sound issue, sometimes you need to re-record just the dialogue. So you go in a voice booth, then just re-record the dialogue, and they put that over the recording that they got when they were filming. Marketing, all of that can be done right here on the backlot. And because of that, we've gotten to work with really amazing directors here at Universal, like Jordan Peele. Now, Jordan Peele filmed his hit movie Us right here on the backlot in our sound stages. The scene with all the white bunnies, that's like super, super creepy, that was filmed right here on our sound stages. Now, none of those bunnies were CGI or computer-generated images. They were all real bunnies. All of those are all really there. That was just because Jordan Peele thought white bunnies were creepy. Also, we've gotten to work with directors like Ron Howard, Steven Spielberg, Angelina Jolie, and Peter Jackson. Also, on your left-hand side, that is our New York Street.
Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
And as we return to Skull Island, please remember to remain seated at all times, keeping arms, legs, personal belongings inside the tram, and please don't flash photography.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong. He's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island. So he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles. Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
I'll show you the just later on in the tour. Those screens are 40 feet tall, 180 feet wide, and utilize some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. That was brought to you by Peter Jackson and the team at What Digital. Your screen says that What Digital has won 5, but they've actually now won 6 Academy Awards, and they've worked on films like King Kong, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, The Lord of the Rings, and the Hobbit trilogies, and Avatar, and Wonder Woman, and Avengers Infinity War, just to name a few.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and the T-Rex is from the other side. Working on movies, we always know people are looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot they're working on. Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot, and this tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We really feel like you got 50 minutes of a picture film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
Now, during King Kong 360 3D, part of the tram went onto the screen and became part of the story. The people inside that tram were Peter Jackson and the team at What Digital. They put that little surprise in there for us. But anytime you see a tram, a car, a bus, a boat, a plane, a train, a bike, real or cartoon on a movie or TV show, it is what we like to call a picture car. So let's get those cameras ready, because on your left-hand side we have some Universal Studios picture cars, like Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI, but in my mind that's a faux Ferrari because it's a Volkswagen engine inside of a Ferrari shell. Now, my favorite picture cars that we have here are the Flintstone picture cars. They even have their very own cute little bedrock license plates on them. But I hate to break it to you, they are not actually Oh, and car 2, please remain seated. And car 2, please sit back down. And the gray hat in car 2, please sit back down. And car 2, please sit down. Thank you. Now they even have their very own cute little bedrock license plate on it, those Flintstone picture cars. We have a very recognizable picture car from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and from Jurassic World, starring Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. The trailer for the third installment of those movies has been released, and I am so excited for that movie. Now, on that last picture car that we have there, that Transformers military tank, it looks big, it looks tough, it looks scary. It's plywood and a really good paint job. Now, why do we do that? Transformers filmed under New York Street and in downtown LA, so that's a lot more lightweight and easier to move around from one point to another. Also, if it gets scratched, hurt, messed up in any way, it is cheaper, easier, and quicker to fix, and it doesn't do any driving in the film. It just looks like it could do some real driving. Now, we talked about our Jurassic World picture cars, but now let's go back to Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes, everything that you're seeing was really used in our Jurassic Park films. So like on your left-hand side, we have the mobile lab from the Lost World, Jurassic Park. And as a very special treat today, on your right-hand side, we have some real black dinosaurs. Oh dear, alright, it appears those dinosaurs have escaped, but don't worry, they would never let us come down here if there was dinosaurs on the loose. So I am sure that they've already captured them and that we are safe. Oh, I don't know. These trees on your left-hand side, they look old, they look wise, like they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. They are just styrofoam and another really good paint job. Why? Because the name of the game in movies is, does it look real? It does not have to be real, it just has to look real. So we do not need to go into the jungle, find a tree that's hundreds of years old, rip it out of its environment, put it on our movie set where it's just gonna rot. We can make one for a lot cheaper and it'll look exactly how we want it to look. That goes for locations too. We don't need to actually film in different locations. We just need to look like we are. And that's again why you could be anywhere in the whole wide world on the Universal backlot by just turning a corner. So we passed our New York Street earlier, and now we are turning onto our Old Mexico. Now here in Old Mexico, movies have filmed like Three Amigos starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. Also TV shows have filmed here like The OC, Arrested Development, Westworld has filmed here, and The OC when they filmed here, they were on some just like it's right now. Then you need like the right. Janet Jackson also filmed her Escapade music video right here, and also Lady Gaga filmed her Judas music video right here in our Old Mexico set. Now what's unique about Old Mexico is we can create weather, because not every movie or TV show takes place on a beautiful sunny day like today. Sometimes we need some thunder, so we could use some sound effects. If we need some lightning, we could use some strobe lights. And then using a sprinkler system that shoots recycled water directly up into the sky, we can create rain. Now the reason we want to shoot that water right up into the sky is so it falls down to earth naturally, giving the illusion of a rainstorm and not like you're standing in the shower. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. Hey Joseph, my off button's not working. Do you have an emergency off button? Oh good. Oh, that's also not working. All right, the emergency off button is also not working, and we are not allowed to pull ahead until we turn this off. So keep taking pictures and videos. I'm just gonna keep hitting the button, and I hope it turns on. Oh no, I hit it too many times. Now there's a flash flood. Back up to the top of the hill to surprise the next tram. You can see that flash flood effect in Lady Gaga's Judas music video and right here on your screens in the movie Big Fat Liar starring Amanda Bynes, Paul Giamatti, and Ricky Muniz.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, we have now left Old Mexico behind and we have entered 6 Points, Texas. These 6 Points, Texas sets are the oldest sets that we still have on our backlot. And 6 Points, Texas got its name because at one point in time there were 6 different roads all coming to one point. And every single road had their own saloon and everything that you need to create your own Western film. So we could have multiple productions going on at the same time. And in 1917, for just 25 cents, a person could come here, watch a silent film get made, and a nice box lunch, and at the end of the day, we would try to sell you a box a dozen eggs, because in addition to being a movie studio, we were also a chicken ranch. Now, Quentin Tarantino filmed one of my all-time favorite movies out here. It won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, and Brad Pitt was in that movie, and he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Also, Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie were also in the movie. It was called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. But now let's check out some Universal Western stars. Approximately at the halfway mark of the tour, so I just remind everybody to stay seated during the studio tour, and that the studio is private property. So if at any point you drop your phone or you can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord to get my attention, and I will be back to assist you. But do remain seated on the tram, and again, please refrain from using selfie sticks on the tram for yours and everyone else's safety. Now you might have noticed on your right-hand side there's a body of water. You might call it a pond, you might call it a lake, you might call it a lagoon. I would probably call it a lagoon, because that is a lagoon from Creature from the Black Book. If this is a medical emergency, please call the emergency